Oh.
Okay.
Hello, hello, amigas and amigas. Welcome to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast. I have the lovely pleasure of interviewing an epic, amazing, badass woman, and her name is Lupita Garcia-Rugerio. And like I said in my intro, she is one of the biggest individuals in real estate here in Los Angeles County. And she is not only a badass in real estate, but she's also a woman of conviction and integrity, and leads a team of many individuals. And we're going to get started and learn more about her. But like always, welcome, Lupita, to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you so much for the invitation today. I'm so honored to be part of this podcast, and I'm here to help in any way that it's possible to empower other women to achieve their dreams.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Music to my ears, for sure. So, Lupita, you know, this podcast is heard all over the world. And so many people probably won't know about you because it's heard all over the world. But let's get to know who Lupita is, where she came from, because I know you live here in the United States, but your story doesn't begin there. It starts where you were born. So tell us about your family, your upbringing, and where you're at now.
Okay, awesome. So I was born in Mexico City, and I came to this country when I was 20 years old. But just to back up a little bit, when I was born, my father was an attorney at law, and my mother was a stay-home mom by conviction, because she also went to school. She was a bilingual secretary, and but she didn't want to work. She wanted to take care of her kids. I am the second child of three, the middle one.
Yeah.
Another brother, he still resides in Mexico City, and I have my sister that she also works for Coldwell Banker Leaders at the company. And we, as growing up, we were like a very close family. My mom always empowered us to do the best and be the best, and she always was there for us to create this type of mentality where you have to strive for number one, nothing less. We were like a medium class family. We went to a public school. I was going to public school, and once I graduated from la secundaria, you know, like high school, something like that, middle school, I will say. My mom took me to this school, one of the best schools in Mexico, Escuela Bancaria y Comercial, where I did my career, and I have a background in accounting in Mexico. I wanted to go to Tecnológico de Monterrey, you know, that's where I wanted to go, but my brother had the privilege to go to go that route, right? I mean, it's always the guy.
Always the guy. That must have like maybe made you mad.
Yes, it did, actually.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Like the double standards, especially in Mexico.
Yes.
That the boy gets first pick, which is sad. It's
correct.
Sad.
Yeah, wow. And he was very smart, and as of today, he still is very intelligent. I mean, like I don't have enough words to describe how intelligent my brother is. But when I graduated from the high school and I wanted to go to Tecnológico, my mom said, no, because you are not gonna get the full scholarship, and the school is really expensive. So we will offer you this school that it's also the best school, but you have to go to one of these technological careers. And then because one day you're gonna get married and you're gonna be staying home mom, and you're not gonna do more than that, right?
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I wanna talk about that because it's already beginning. The molding, the limitation starts really early in Mexico, and it does here as well. But oh my, did you think that was going to happen, or did you have other dreams?
Well, probably I thought that in a way that will happen, but I didn't see it like happening right per se, because I said my brother is really intelligent and I'm too, right? I mean, he's a scorecard like in Mexico it's like a 10, yes.
Yeah.
In here it's A plus plus, right? And I got that too. And then I said, why I can go to that school, right? So it kind of frustrated me, but I went to that school and I excelled too.
Yeah.
So I did so well, and then when I was like 19 years old, it was so funny. I was dating this guy that I met at the school, right? And he was 13 years older than me, and he wanted to marry me. And I don't know, sometimes life and God and the universe and things happen in mysterious ways that he went to ask my parents for my hand. And I was gonna get married already. We had the church and the venue and everything was already done. And guess what happened? So all of a sudden I get a letter from United States from a guy that is the father of my kids, and he invites me to come over. And I said, how did you hear about me? And then he said, oh, because I saw you in a video from one of your family members, your aunt and your uncle. And I said, what? And then he's like, yeah, I want you to come. I'm gonna pay you for your ticket and I wanna meet you because you're really beautiful and you seem really smart. And I said, no, you're crazy. I'm gonna get married. And then he's like, he's like, don't get married. He's an old man. Your uncle already told me about it. Please come over. So guess what? I don't know how did I pull it together, but I canceled my wedding and I came to with my uncle because he was residing here, and my the father of my kids, now my ex-husband, right?
Yeah.
And then I stayed here. And then I was 20 years old. My father and my mom cried. Why did you go there? We give you such a great life, you know. We pushed you to do the best that we could offer you. And now you're gonna stay in United States. You don't have any family, you don't have no one. Your uncle is just your uncle. He's gonna live with his family and his wife. And what are you gonna do? And I said, well, I'm in love and I'm gonna marry this guy. And my mom and dad said, no, you're crazy. And I said, no. But see, this happened so fast that in 6 months from when I came here, I was married. And then by the same time, I was pregnant. And then, I mean, I came here in December of 1991. And then by May of 1992, I was already married. And in June, I was pregnant of my first daughter.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
It was like flash dance. It's like boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then that's when the story actually begins, because this is what happened. So there is Lupita that had everything in Mexico City, a very good life, a very good family, you know, everybody was fresa in my surroundings, you know how that goes, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
happy hours and then karaoke
Oh
night,
yeah.
whatever.
Oh my God.
You come here, no family, no English. So back then, I didn't have, I had a really good grammar. I can write, I can do essays, I can do everything in writing, but my pronunciation was bad. Like I couldn't speak it. Even to go to the store, nobody back then, I mean, I'm talking 30 years ago, will speak Spanish. I mean, I will have to really literally read what I wanted to say and speak really slow so people will understand me.
Wow.
So then that sparked my attention because I said, wow, okay, I'm pregnant. I'm really young. I don't have my family. What am I going to do? Right? So my sister-in-law said, oh, come over, work with me on the garment industry. We're going to get you a job where they're going to pay you $3.75 an hour.
When was this?
1992. And then you're gonna be
God.
cutting the needles. How do you call it? No, not the needles. The what is it? The thread from the blouses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So I remember that day, and you have to picture this. I was standing up in a line with full of women. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then for 8 hours straight, because they didn't even give us a break to go eat. I mean, my break was 10 minutes, and I have to go back. And then I was standing on my feet doing that labor. And when I got home, I got fever. I was really sick and crying like a brave baby. And then I called my mom and I said, this is what happened to me. I said, I don't know. And there were no cell phones. We couldn't afford a cell phone. So I went to a payphone to call my mom, and the money that I put in my phone, I mean, it was only 2 minutes call. And I remembered her words so clearly in my head. Lupita, we didn't send you to school for this. Really? You're gonna be doing that kind of job? Go to school, learn English, and use what you learn here in the school, you know, in the Escuela Bancaria y Comercial, and go get a real job, because we didn't raise you to do that.
Right.
Your father is really mad because you shouldn't be doing that.
And he's the judge, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
So
it's like me saying to my daughter, like, yeah, go get a labor job, and I'm being a lawyer. Like, how that does not register.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
No, and then I said, and then she's like, you need to come back home now, because we don't want you living there. You have a home here, your brothers are here, your friends are here. What are you doing there? Your whole family, your world is here. But then that's what happened. So the words, and then I said, you know what? I'm gonna show my family that I can make it happen. I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna listen to my mom, I'm gonna quit my job, and then I'm gonna learn the language. That's the first thing that I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So I get home all excited, and then I tell my ex-husband, and then I said, I'm quitting the job. Oh my God. My sister-in-law got crazy, and what? You're gonna go to school? You're not in Mexico. What are you gonna do? You need to leave, you need to eat, and this and that. And I said, well, I don't care if I eat with nothing. I mean, it's fine, I'm gonna make it happen. So I enrolled myself in 3 shifts at the school. I went from 9 to 12, from 1 to 4, and then from 6 to 9. The whole day for 6 months.
You meant business. You were like ready, like, I'm gonna make this, you're gonna make shit happen, right?
Yes. And then another thing that I did, everybody will hang around with the same people with the same language, right? Like my Hispanic friends would hang around with Hispanic women, right? So guess what? I got Chinese friends, Japanese friends, Armenian friends that didn't speak Spanish. So then I had to practice the English so I can speak it and talk, you know? And it was so funny because I will get home and then I will start just reading the sentences. And believe me, in 6 months, I was already on level 5 of ESL.
Yeah,
like it went so fast. Like it was a fast track. So people, you know, come into your life for a reason. And I remember that I was already with my big belly, right? 8 months. And my ex-husband was a bartender at a nightclub, right? Yeah. He was working nights. And then with the tips, we will leave, right? His tips. Yeah. He said, you know, the owner of the nightclub wants to meet you, and he wants you to come over and work as a cashier. He knows that you're talented and that you don't have family, and they want to invite you to come over and work. Do you want to come for an interview? And I said, well, I'm about to give birth. I mean, what do you want me to do? And then he's like, yeah, you can still go to school, and then you can work at nights with me, and then we can carpool together. And then I said, okay, let me go talk to them. So they were Armenian. I remember these 2 brothers. One of them, I mean, sadly already passed away, but the other one, they offered me the job, and I just started working nights, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And I remember going into work from 9 p.m. at night until actually 7 p.m. until 2 in the morning. With my big old belly, the last month I went.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I'm going to have to stop you there, because as someone who has been pregnant, the last month is so difficult.
Yeah.
And so how did you manage? Like, that is just, to me, it boggles my brain to even think, with your big belly, working at this bar, and wow, how did you do it?
I just had this thing in my mind that I needed to save money, and that I couldn't be renting a bedroom, because that's what we did. We rent a bedroom from a house, and I was sleeping on the floor. And I remember me borrowing blankets, and we didn't have money. We ate tuna cans. That was my actually lunch. We will put the pennies and quarters and everything together to buy, our breakfast that was Cheerios with milk. That was, I mean, everything that we can afford, because it was either one or another. We borrow a car to go to work. It was, I remember this car, it was so old that it always had all kinds of problems. For real. It was crazy the way that things happen. But I just had in my head, I cannot be living like this. I mean, if my mom and my dad, they come and they come to see my baby, how are they gonna see me living in this apartment? And I don't even have furniture. I mean, by when I was already gonna give birth, all I had was a mattress and a chair. And I remember my mom and I, we went to Big Lots to buy one piece of furniture so we can put the clothes for the baby and the Pampers and things like that. So that thing, it was my drive. I said, this cannot be happening. That's how I managed, being with my big old belly, and then I still go to work, and I give birth. My mom came. I remember she was like, "Stop working. You cannot go to work anymore. You're gonna give birth. Ah, hija, you shouldn't be living here. I mean, really? You have your house in Mexico. What are you doing here?" And then I was like, "No, mom, everything is gonna be fine." She slept in the floor with me. I remember she left me the mattress, and then she was sleeping on the carpet. And I said, "That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna take care of my mom all my life. Whatever I have to do, I don't care,
Yeah.
So that's basically what happened. So the baby came, and then I said, "Oh my God, now we have to pay babysitter," because my mom went back to Mexico, right? So then I said, okay, so now babysitter it is. So I keep on going to school. And then when I went to college, I mean, I was going to Montauk already.
Okay.
I met this couple. She was gonna be a nun and he was gonna be a priest. I remember them so clearly because they both decided to go in another direction and they got married. Okay, but they were such a kind couple that the lady said, "Look, if you want to succeed in life, what you need to do, you need to spend money in your education. So I offer you for me to be your teacher. I taught for so many years when I was a nun, and let's do a one-on-one English. So you can learn better the way to communicate, so you can express what you want to do. And believe me, you're going to do so well in life." So I remember pulling my money together that I earned, working at night and going to the swap meets, because by then I was already selling clothes at the swap meets and farmers markets, right? And then I hired her. So she gave me a one-on-one class for 6 months. So I can really articulate. We will sing songs. She sent me to church, and I have to do the Holy Mary and the Father, our Father, everything. I need to learn everything. So then I can go ahead and speak the language. So it took me, what is it, like a year and a half to get to that level, and that's what I will say that brought me to the right direction to be where I am. Because if I didn't have the language, it will be probably 3 or 4 times harder to get what I wanted to be, because back then it was different. It's not like now you can get a job where people are Hispanic and then just speak Spanish and then you can still succeed, right?
Right.
But before it was different. So it opened so many doors. And that's how I came here. That's how my story began,
That's where it starts. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. What I'm getting the feeling is that I know that you and I had a conversation before we got on, and we were talking about just the universe and God and how just makes connections. And it seems like the universe was playing, like was really on your side, like bringing you this former priest and nun, and like them coming to your life, then having the people tell you like you got to go get an education in English, make sure you do that. And it seems like you've been guided by these spiritual guides, if I call them. So Okay, so now that's so mesmerizing. Now that you're going to Mount SAC, you already did a year and a half. What happened after that?
Well, after that, so I didn't want to work during the day because I wanted to take care of my daughter by myself, right? So my daughter was already 3 years old, and you know, I mean, you meet people, I mean, along the way, and we were raised Catholic. So I found this church in Azusa, St. Francis of Rome, and I made it my family because I didn't have any family. So I met really good people there that still are my friends. And they were so nice and so kind. And they say, you know what? Now that Cynthia is 3 years old, you can take her to school. You know, in Citrus College, they have this program where you can bring your kid and then you can find a job. And then you can work during the time that she's at school. And then you can still have your night job because I was still working for Wings nightclub, right? The
Yeah.
nightclub. Yeah.
Yeah, the bar.
Yes, the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never a waitress. I was always a cashier. I mean, I was always at the entrance. So this is what happened. So I was still working, and then I heard about that, and then I said, ay, Dios mío, I don't have papers, right? No, I mean, you need the papers to work.
Yeah.
Then another angel, right? So the owners from the nightclub, they said, you know what, Lupita, we really like you, and we know that your situation that you have with you and your husband and how sad you are because you cannot go to visit your parents. They can only come and see you. What about if we sponsor you and then we help you, you know, get your citizenship status? And then just find a lawyer and we will do it for you. And I said, what? I mean, yeah, and then you can sponsor your husband. And I said, my poor husband that came first than me, and now you're offering me this. And then they say, yeah, because we really like you. We think that you have really good values, and we like your work ethic, and we see how you write letters, because that's what I used to do, write letters. When we didn't have people coming through the front, you know, I was just writing and writing. So I enrolled my daughter in school, I hired the attorney, and everything came all together. Like my papers came in no time, 6 months. I remember borrowing money from people so I can pay for my papers. Yeah, because I didn't have money, remember?
No, well,
I mean,
it was a lot easier back then than it is now. But wow, wonderful.
Yeah,
Wow.
so what happens is that my daughter was going to school, everything happened, and then I said, well, now I'm gonna get a job. Now I can work, right? So I went to get a job, and I worked for a telemarketing company. It was MCI, and then they said, well, if you're working here, you can work for Inglés Sin Barreras. And then I said, what? And then they say, yeah, go to Inglés Sin Barreras. You're very talented. You can speak Spanish. And they sell English courses, right? I mean, so people can learn the language. And I said, really? So I went to apply, and there was me driving from Azusa all the way to Hollywood to get the job. But let me tell you, I learned so much from them, their culture and their sales training, that helped me a lot for my current career, because they pay for a week training of sales. So a lot of the things that I learned back then, I still use it. I mean, even as of today. Yeah, it was actually really good. It was a week training. So when I finished that, I said, it's too much of a drive. I said, I cannot be driving 2 hours going in and 2 hours coming back. I said, I have to think what I'm gonna do with my life, right? So then I came back, centered myself, and then I started looking for a job, and then I got this job in Arcadia for prepaid phone cards. I remember that. The owner was so nice, and then he said, you know what? Prepaid phone cards are gonna be a big thing. That was back in 1997. And then he said, I want you to be the manager. And I said, manager for who? Just you and I? Then he's like, there was no people. And then he's like, yeah, you can do it. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and put in money to open a corporation, and then I want you to create a design. So I designed a card with a poster and everything, and we will distribute those prepaid phone cards. I will say with 200 stores. He put the idea, and he believed in me, and we use my Hispanic skills and my Spanish language to create the card that it was called, one of them, it was direct call, but the one that had a lot of success was called Si Se Puede. And I still have the pictures. I even had my daughter on the front of the prepaid phone card.
Oh, how cute.
With that little Chihuahua dog that we used to have. So it was so nice. So Cindy is still in that. I still keep some of them as memory. But it was so nice because I said, hi, I mean, you really believe that this is gonna work? And then he's like, yeah, we're gonna get a T1 and we're gonna put it in LA. So we had our T1 on 6th Street in LA, in downtown LA. He only speaks English, and my English was, remember, I mean, it was good, but not as good as it is now, right?
Right.
But he believed that I could do it, right? So the bigger companies came in, AT&T, Verizon, they bought the small companies like our company. And then I was still working in the nightclub, and then the company was already like diminishing. He got an offer to be bought up. So I said, what am I gonna do now? I mean, I'm pregnant. I'm gonna have my second kid, right? I was pregnant of my second daughter. So then at the nightclub, I met this person that it's another angel, right? That said, Lupita, what are you doing here? I mean, you're so smart and you are so talented. You already work in sales. Get into real estate. Come on. I mean, just get into real estate. I'll teach you. I'll train you.
And what date is this? What's the year?
1998 to 1999. I will say that I work on the prepaid phone cards like 2 years and a half, almost 3. From 1996 and a half to 1999. And then I met her, but because she was begging me so many times, like, do it, and I didn't want to. So she told me 1998, 1999, I took the opportunity, and then I said, okay, let's do it. So I went in and I said, let's get our license first. So then there is Lupita listening to tapes, listening to, I remember I was listening to tapes, reading the books, with my 2 kids running around, right? And then I said, I need to get my license first. I mean, if I don't have a license, how can I sell?
Right, right.
She was so nice that she said, I can sign for you. I can sign your contracts. I mean, she was really nice. But then she said, but it will be better if you have your own license. So in 6 months, no, I will say like less than 6 months, like 4 months, I passed my real estate exam at the first time. First time. Yeah. Right. So, but guess what? No clients.
You know what? That's, like any new business, if you will, it's like, okay, so like as a lawyer, I'm like, okay, I have my license. Now what do I do? Where are they? Unless you get, hired by a firm and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like you getting your real estate license, you're like, okay, now what do I do next? Like you start hustling, I guess. Knocking on doors, because back then was in the 90s. So that means it was old school. Like we didn't have Google. We didn't have any of that stuff.
We had these books that look like the yellow pages, right? Where we have to look for the houses that we were going to be showing. And we have to use the Thomas Guide to show properties. And I remember the interest rates were like 10%, 9%. I mean, it was crazy. And to me, it was like, now what do I do? The computers were this fat and this big, right? And we have to write up the contracts and stuff. And but see, what happens is that then there is another phase, because you get another drive. I mean, you start learning. And then I said, well, now I have my license and I'm looking at this purchase agreement and I don't know what to do. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to learn the right way, not only take courses, I'm going to take the 6-month class for every one of the classes that I need to become a broker, because that was my goal. So I said, today is 2000. By 2004, that's the 4 years that is required, I should be a broker. But I need to be a good broker, and to be a good broker that will know what the data is. Because right now you can acquire your broker's license. Back then it was the same. Like you can take courses online or read books and then you're in the door, right? But I said, no, I don't want that. I mean, I really want to go to school. So I enrolled myself in Monsac and Citrus College. And I used to go to work, at the real estate office during the day. And then at night, my ex-husband will watch the kids, and then I will go to school from 6 to 9 p.m. So it was a 4 years that I didn't have a social life. It was
Yeah.
only my family and my work and church. That's it.
Yep. You had very specific and measurable goals,
Yes.
and you need to have that in order to embark
Yes.
something new.
Correct.
And so I love what you said. It's like, okay, by this day, by 2000 or 2004, this is going to be about my education to get my broker's license. Like, you were committed.
Yes, exactly.
And that is super important for amigas to understand, that if you have a desire to do anything, you need to be committed and you need to take action.
Correct.
Right? Like yes, we can have goals, we can have dreams, but if you're not committed, or don't have it very specific, like timeline, you need to be like, okay, by this day, this has to happen. I mean, I think that, as amigas, it's so important for us to address those things, because we can dream, we can have goals, but that means nothing in reality until you put action behind those goals and dreams.
Correct.
Right?
And let me tell you, it just happened like that. I mean, it was the year of 2000 when I said that I was going to do that. And in the meantime, like I said, I was just dedicated to my family, to my study, to everything. I remember my friends, from the nightclub, and other friends that I met at school. They used to invite me for happy hour, to go to social events and things like that. And then I will be like, no, I can't. I mean, I have to be. And they will make fun of me. They will say, oh, eres un ratón de biblioteca. Y les decía, okay, let me be a ratón de biblioteca. a library mouse, right? That's what it's called, or something like that. But I didn't really care. I just had a goal in my mind. So on that meantime, I remember I met this broker. He was so nice. He's still alive. He's on his 90s now. But he sit down with me, and then he's like, I see a lot of potential in you. I can be your rent broker if you want to open your office. I think that you have the potential of doing it. You need to make some investment. And, I think that you have the leadership skills that are required. Let's do it. And then I said, really? And then he's like, yeah. So then I went ahead and opened my office. And my first office was called the CMR team. And that was open in 2002. Yeah. So I started designing with my own creations and ideas, my systems, like, we need files, we need this. And since I have my mom's and dad's background, right? Because I remember my dad, he used to have his own office in Mexico too, where he took some cases from clients. I remember having his organization and things like that. And I took that with me, to bring it to my own office. So it was like a really nice, when I brought my dad and my mom, I remember the day when we opened the office, they were like, wow. And then, how did you come up with this idea? And then I said, well, I really wanted to make you proud. I wanted you to see that I didn't come to be just like an average person. I wanted to be successful, and for you to feel like I did something, not my brother only, I did it too. So they were so happy, and I was so happy that I was able to show what I did, to them.
Right.
So I got this friend that came and said, oh, Lupita, another angel, right? 2002, she comes, works for my office for 1 year only. But listen to what she left me with. She's like, Lupita, you're doing good. You're a realtor. Now you can do loans too, because back then you didn't need a license to do loans. She's like, you need to get involved with an organization that will give you a designation. You cannot be the average realtor. You have to have other skills that people will look up to you. Get your notary license. I know that you're working on your broker's license, but there is an institute that it's called e-designations in Pasadena, where you can get your GRI designation. And then from there, you can become a CRS. And from them, you can become a CNA. And then you can become a SRES. And then you can become like she brought me all of these things and opened my eyes. And then she's like, I'm going to go with you. And then she came with me. And we got enrolled together at the GRI. And I remember us carpooling every month because it took us 12 months to get the designation. And then she's like, are you ready for your CRS? I'm not going to persuade that because I think my job here is done. I'm leaving. Mm-hmm.
Oh
And
my God.
she's still my friend, let me tell you. But those were her words, and I will never forget them. I saw her like I would say 2 years ago, and then she's like, I knew this will happen. I don't know, how. Don't ask me how, but that's what she said. My job is down here. You're on your way.
Oh my God, that is like a movie.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God, that is
Yeah,
so incredible.
it
I
is.
mean, I've gotten hits like that where, you know, I've had many angels in my life in physical form. And it's almost it's so powerful when it comes from somebody else to tell you like my job has been done,
Mhm. That's
right?
exactly what she said. Exactly. And if
So
it
powerful.
wasn't for her as of today, I will say my eyes will still be just a realtor or maybe shut, like there was nothing else. And I
Yeah.
learned so much because let me tell you, when I got enrolled into the CRS, I met so many successful people, like many brokers across United States that brought me into this organization that it's called Star Power. And from there, our business duplicate, triplicate, quadruplicate. I mean, it was amazing. Like because I learned what successful people did. So I learned that I had to role model other people that were successful. Why should I be thinking that I can just invent the wheel when it's already been invented, right? So that's
Yes.
exactly what I did. Yeah.
That's a very important point to make. You need to model other people that you aspire to be.
Mhm.
And learn their skills, their hacks, their tips, their habits, their everything.
Yes.
I think oftentimes, there's many people out there that instead of supporting and helping, and admiring and modeling, you break down people, and that's not the way to go. It's so important for us as Latinas, as amigas, to understand that if you see a successful person, you want to be near their circle.
Yes.
I,
Correct.
I always say we're the average of the 5 people that you are with, hanging out with,
Correct.
and proximity to power is amazing. And
Correct.
you were there. And it's so important for amigas out there to understand that, model the success of other people,
Correct.
right?
Yes, I completely agree with you. And I was so happy that every year after year after year, I went to the conferences that they had all over USA. I mean, we were traveling. I remember I went to Arizona, I went to Colorado, I went to New York just to be at the Star Power conference and the CRS conference year after year. So I could come back home and bring skills that I learned there. So it was so great, we were able to go from 0 people, 0 clients. I'm not talking about agents yet. I'm just talking about clients in our database all the way to, I have right now 2,500 or 3,000 clients that I have sold houses to in the past.
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
just by implementing that, it was like great. I mean, they taught us about the importance of taking care of other people, like and not ripping them off, creating clients for life. That is so important, people that will feel that you're sincere when you want to be part of their family. I mean, that you're not just there for the commission check, that you really care for them. And let me just share something with you on that sense. It's that their culture was so important for me, as a human being, that I remember selling houses in the year of 2001 to this older woman that she passed away last year, but she was 62 years old. And I sold houses to her own daughters. I mean, her daughters, her grandchildren. I mean, I'm part of their family. I mean,
Yeah.
I love them to death. I just closed a refinance for them a week ago. people will find you that you really care, and that's the culture that I learned,
Yeah.
and it feels so good. Like she was like, I remember like when she was 82 years old, 83, she said, "Ay, Lupita, now you're selling the houses to my grandkids." It's like a funny. And I said, "Ay, Doña Irma, thank you so much for trusting me all of these years. No, you're like my daughter. I mean, don't say that." So it was so nice,
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
those things you treasure. Like,
Right.
and I can have stories like the one that I just shared with you from many clients,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can completely agree with you, because I've helped out, like I help out one client and then she gets married, and then I help out the other relatives and like the friends, and they're like, "Oh my God, Jackie, I've been looking for you. You changed your phone number." And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, it's when you make an impact on people, it's wonderful to see. It's a boomerang. Like you make the impact and it comes back. You make the
Correct.
impact and it comes back. And it's so beautiful to see that. And what that's so wonderful, Lupita,
Yeah.
that you have that. You created that culture, right?
Yes, and just because I think that I had it inside me, but I didn't know how to implement it. And then when I went there and learned, I really liked it. I like to be happy every day. I like to help other people. We have challenges during the day, especially in real estate. I mean, everybody that is in real estate agrees with me that it's a really stressful career, because you have so many pieces of the puzzle just to accomplish one goal. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's what we like. And if we have passion, then we just have to unscramble everything and get our job done. So I really like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. And you know, what I have found with real estate, with individuals that work in the real estate field, is that they really enjoy it. It's really, they have service at the forefront. At least the people that I surround myself with, like Veronica, like, my goodness, this woman is all over the place, but she's the same person consistently being of service.
Correct.
And this is what I have found in this real estate world. Like you, Lupita, and now that I know you, that you are a person of service. And that is, and I feel like that is like one of the, I think it's, I would say it's the one tenet that I think anybody who's in sales needs to, instead of say selling, we're servicing, we're serving them, right?
Always. And you have to truly care for your clients, I mean, like you have to put yourself in their shoes and think about like their emotions and everything that is going through their minds before you can think about getting your paycheck, right? I mean, if you do that, the result will be like really good, it will be rewarding. So let me just tell you, so I got my broker's license in 2004, right? I went the first time. I was already 4 years in the business. And then I said, I'm going to pass it easy. There is not going to be a problem, right? Because, oh no, I'm in real estate. I have my office and I've been studying and going to college. I go place my exam, boom, failed. I got 69%. And then I said, Lupita, this is just a reminder from God that you have to study like you did before. And you have to put your effort, right? So I went back, take the exam again, and then I got my broker's license in 2004. So the market and the economy was going great. Oh, big five. Oh, yeah, we got these designations, and now we're bringing agents. Because what is the dream for the, I mean, I will say 70% of the brokers is to have an office, right? Their own office, and to be their own boss. But then you take a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. I mean, it's not like just being a realtor. It's different. I mean, you need to understand that now you're going to be managing what other people do for their clients. Before it was easy because it will be just my transactions, and whatever I did, I knew I did it right. But what's going to happen now when you have 20 agents under your license, right? Or 30 or 40 or 50, right?
How many do you have right now?
100, I believe 125, and
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my God.
Last count, Nelly just certified the last one this morning, but I believe we're at 123, including broker associates and salesperson. And we also have the mortgage company, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
On that company, we also have like 17 loan officers. We just opened that 1 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. And this is spectacular because just to put us in perspective, you know, you started with one, meaning you, right? And now you have hundreds, which
Yes.
is, and you're an immigrant.
Yes.
And so it just goes to show that this is the melting pot here. This country is the melting pot. If you really want it, you can definitely go for it and make it happen.
Correct.
Right?
I completely agree with you. And there is no other, way that it can be done. If you have las ganas, and you believe in yourself, you believe in yourself that you can do it, because we all have the talent. It's just the willingness of doing it or not doing it. It's like when you're working out in the morning, right? You get up and you say, I'm gonna work out. Oh no, tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow. Oh, the next day. Oh no, I'm too tired. Oh, I couldn't sleep well. There is always going to be excuses for everything. And then you're going to find a way to tell yourself, I cannot do it. I'm going to start on Monday. And today is Tuesday, right? You can do that. You will be fully in your life and then just taking steps back every time. You just have to move forward and say, I'm going to do it. If I'm tired, if I'm sick, if whatever it happens, I don't care. I'm going to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible what you've created and you continue to create. You are still like busting your butt, still making those transactions, still honoring your contracts and recruiting agents to be a part of your team.
Correct. Yes.
Wow. And so how does one become a part of your team? Just, for some amiga out there who's a realtor or a broker who wants to be a part of your team, how does one start to do that?
Well, we have Nelly. She's our director of growth, and she's the person that actually interviews every agent that comes into the office and wants to join our office. Everybody has to have the same culture that we have. In here, we work. We like to play sometimes, right? But at the end of the day, is the service that we like to give to our clients. We believe in having this kind of atmosphere where we have the teamwork environment. It's good if you make $200,000, $300,000 a year. It's okay if you're number one, but you were number 0 one time, right? You didn't have anything, and you have to be humble to remember that you were there one time. So when Nelly interviews people, she basically sees if they have the culture, that it's gonna go ahead and go along with the company. Because I cannot be here 24/7, right? Or Nelly or the staff, right? Now we have 8 people on the staff here. And we cannot be here all the time. So if you encounter an agent, you have to help each other, right? Like, what are you doing? Are you doing an open house? Are you door knocking? Come over, I help you, there is different ways that everybody can lift each other up. So that's basically number one. So they meet with Nelly. Nelly sees, they can be with our culture. They're going to be a right fit for us. Now, number two, then we have a training program for all of the realtors that want to join our company. We have onboarding programs. We have a level of different agents. There are people that have the skills to be team leaders, right? So they have their own team, within the company. We have other ones that are solo agents, right? That they just like to be by themselves, right? And then we also have people that are brand new agents. And we have training sessions every Thursday here at 11 a.m. where we train agents like when I started and I didn't know anything, right? So we can train them to do their job, for the future. So it's simple. And let me just tell you, I'm really happy to be part of Coldwell Banker. Coldwell Banker is a great brand. I love their culture. They've been in the industry for 116 years. And that was one of the, greatest decisions that I made to be part of that culture, because I really like how they think, how they move, and that what sets them apart, from everybody, just the way that they, embrace their agent and their brokers, and help them grow,
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's incredible. Yeah, I think it's super important to be a part of a culture that is very supportive.
Yes.
And I love that you said that the first thing is that they can vibe in the same culture. Because
Yes.
I think we get in a position where we get to decide like, okay, well, I need the help now, so I'm just going to get somebody. And we shouldn't do that, right? We shouldn't do that. There should be some sort of, like you said, culture or some sort of mission statement, mission purpose in the company.
Yes.
And
Correct.
that person needs to fit that purpose, that
Yes.
mission statement.
Correct.
Beautiful. I mean, I love this stuff. So, we always put down, like, from our guests where they can find you. So they can, where can they find you?
Well, we have 3 websites where we have the Coldwell Banker website. Basically, it's coldwellbankerleaders.com. And then we also have the second website for mortgageleaders.net. And then we have nationalleadersescrow.com. So we became like a one company with all of the services. That was a dream that I had, that one day we should have everything. And I have to just add into this podcast that nothing of this will have happened. I will say, number one thing is the help of God, right? And the second thing will be my family, that they were my drive, my daughters, they're so important for me. And now I have 2 granddaughters that I love them to death, and I have a great team of people working around me, every day. I mean, this wouldn't have happened if I didn't have the agents that I have with their culture and the motivation every day. The staff, Nelly, she's been working in this company for 21 years. My sister, I'm seeing her every day, seeing people succeed, like Rosita, Rosita, right? And the beauty of how these people really care about helping buyers and sellers. So I really wanted to add that, because I think that if amigas are listening to this podcast and they want to hear something, is that we all have a motivation of why we get up every day. And my motivation is everything that I just mentioned, because they're so important for me. And I make them feel like that. I make sure that I tell them every day, because I don't know if tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, and I just wanna make sure that before I go to sleep, my kids know that I love them, my grandkids know the same thing, my mom, and the agents here, when I see them, I show it to them. I just don't fake it. I really care for them, and I really feel happy when I see them.
Oh, how beautiful is that? I want to come and work for you now. Will you accept
You're
it,
so
lawyer?
nice. No.
Oh my God. That's so amazing. So, one of the things that I always ask my amigas, if they could provide 1 or 2 tips on how she can handle her shit. Do you have a tip for us?
Yes. I will say that we all women go through ups and downs, and especially our emotions sometimes are more different than guys, right? I always, and people always make fun of me, go for a walk, right?
Yeah.
Like if I don't feel good, I'm not gonna bring that around people that are here. I share my office with Nelly, right? Imagine if my day is not going right, or I'm not feeling right. It happens, right? So then what do? I get up, and then I go in a walk and I meditate. What is happening? How can I resolve this? What are the options that I have to be a better person? If I want to cry, I cry, but I just cry by myself. And that's how I handle my shit. That's how I do it, right? That's one tip. And another one, never bring it around people, because it creates a bad environment. We all have that day, and that day is gonna go, or that hour is gonna go. So just handle it, alone. If you have a very good friend that you can talk to, it's okay. But just don't create a bad environment. That will be one. And the second one that I always use, I try to work out every day, like because when I sweat and I'm listening my podcast and then I read, and then it just makes me feel so much better, because my day, it's a happy day. So if I did my workout, I had my green juice, I read the Bible, I meditated, I said thanks for everything that I have, then that's how I handle my shit. Because what happens? Then I go out the door and I'm a new person. It's 7 a.m. in the morning and I feel like, oh my God, the day is here.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. I love all that. I mean, I tend to do that myself. And I, when I don't do one of the things that you just mentioned, like either if I don't meditate, I kind of know it in my body that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
If I don't exercise, I keep beating myself like, why didn't you exercise? You could have exercised instead of sitting on your lazy butt and watching TV. So I completely agree with you. I love your tips, and amigas out there, please, 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 make sure that you do exercise, make sure that you do meditate, and just be happy and kind, and don't bring your mess in the office. Go for a walk.
Yeah, because this can happen, right? I mean, we're here talking and then maybe something went sideways in a transaction, or an agent came with a bad attitude to a client, right? What do? I mean, don't go in that level. I mean, just pause, get out, walk, breathe, say thanks for everything else that we have, right? I mean, there are so many blessings, right? And then when you turn the bad into good, I mean, the negative into positive, what happens? I mean, you will see the results are so different. I mean, and people can tell you here, they say, why are you so happy? Maybe you're just faking it. And I go, no, I'm happy. I am.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I be?
Yeah. Well, because you have implemented these traits in your life.
Yes.
And that's why, because you have learned that they're very simple, but they're really good. And really important. So I'm very grateful to have you here on Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast, because I think amigas need to learn from everyone, from all walks of life, and learn that anything you want in your life can happen. Like there's no excuse, excuse, amigas. No hay excusas.
Ninguna. No hay.
Ninguna. No hay. Thank you, Lupita, so much for being here with us.
Thank you for the invitation, Jackie. I really appreciate it. And if any amigas need my help in any aspect, I mean, I'll be more than happy to help them.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackie. Thanks.
Thank you.